As we're talking about guns, of course, a new movie that's going to be coming up, I think it previews on New Year's Day, this next Friday, is The Hateful Eight. Kurt Russell has been going around promoting that, and as he went around promoting it, he keeps getting asked these questions by liberals who want to push gun control, and they keep hammering him on this, and he goes, look, guys, and as you can see if you're watching this, it's a movie that is set in the Civil War. It's also pretty much a fantasy movie because it's a Quentin Tarantino movie. They're always over the top in terms of violence, kind of a grinder type of film, and so that's what you expect. And as he keeps pointing out to people, like, this is a work of art, it's like a painting or a song. Don't try to extrapolate this into the real world, but they won't stop. So he comes back after a little bit of this, and he really pushed back and told him what he thought about gun control. And he's continued to talk because they continue to push him on this. His latest thing that he said in an interview was, he said, this is what people need to understand. He said, now is not a good time to lay down your weapons. How will you protect yourself? And of course, they're saying, hey, we've had these shootings in San Bernardino, so we all need to give up our guns. And it's like, seriously? You really think that these people can't get their guns on a black market, that they wouldn't get their guns on a black market when they are plotting to do something as heinous as a mass shooting like that, cold-blooded murder like that? You think that would stop them? You think they're going to call up and say, you know, Mohammed, we're going to have to postpone the attack because they're all out of AR-15s here at the gun store. So they say they're going to have some in a couple of months, so maybe we should reschedule the attack for then. They can get these guns whenever and wherever they want. There's a thing called the black market, and you need to understand that. If you haven't figured that out by watching the war on drugs, if you didn't figure it out by watching alcohol prohibition, that, you know, when you prohibit stuff, it really doesn't stop it, does it? It just makes more virulent forms of it available. You want to see some really virulent forms of firearms? Enact gun prohibition. They're not going to go away. What you'll find is it's going to unleash the creativity of people on the firearms, and just as it has in the war on drugs. We've got things like meth, which I think is a horrible thing. But I don't think that meth would have existed without the war on drugs. In the same way that during alcohol prohibition, we had bathtub gin that was making people go blind. That's what happens when you create prohibition. Of course, it also corrupts law enforcement. It also destroys our rights. It also turns us into a war zone. All of those things happen because of the war on drugs. But again, going back to Kurt Russell, he says, now is not a good time to lay down your weapons. How will you protect yourself? And as he said in a previous interview, he says, what are you going to do, outlaw everything? They can use a car. They can use a bomb. They can attack people however and whenever they wish. You need to have a way to protect yourself. He says, I'm a libertarian, a hardcore one, and of course I have guns. I shoot things with them. I hunt game. And of course, this last week, we just saw the Virginia Attorney General, and his last name is Herring. His middle initial is R. I speculated that maybe the middle name, the R, stands for red, as in red herring, because what he said he was going to do was not respect the concealed carry permits of 25 states. He was going to revoke that. And I had some people, when I covered that, made some good comments, something that I didn't think about. That was done in reaction to the speech by the president of Liberty University, suggesting to his college students that they needed to learn how to use guns and carry concealed. And, of course, there are students who are going to be traveling to that university from a lot of different states. They'll be coming in with concealed carry permits. So that's a way to push back and attack that, I think. That's a very, I think that observation is spot on. And, of course, the governor of Virginia is none other than Terry McAuliffe, a guy whose sole qualification is being a propagandist for the Clintons. And they're trying to do everything they can to shut down carrying firearms. Now, one more article here on firearms, and I'll go to your calls. There is a lawsuit that is being put out by Gun Owners of America and another organization called Shooters Committee on Political Education. And what they're doing is they're pushing back against this idea that people who are on watch lists, secret watch lists by the government, that they should have their gun rights revoked. Think about that for a moment. And I want you to also go back and look at the statistics that the people who are pushing for this, and some of the people pushing for this are Fox News. Fox News anchors are just absolutely incredulous that somebody that's on a terror watch list could actually buy a gun. Well, you know what? According to their own figures, over a period of, I think it was 5 years, 91% of the people who were on a terror watch list were able to get guns because there wasn't anything in their background. You need to understand that the terror watch list is a star chamber watch list. People are put on it. They don't even know why. They're put on it maybe because of an anonymous tip. That is not how we need to be taking people's property and their rights.
Most of the InfoWars radio listening audience is aware of the high-quality, affordable firearms available that are made right here in America at hdfirearms.com. One of the most exciting things about hdfirearms.com is the ability to upgrade your AR-15 platform today. They call it their low-profile platform, PVX muzzle brakes, proven to help control muzzle rise. 6061 billet material with Type 3 hard coating. Bolt carrier group for 308 and 556 ARs. Custom Kydex holsters, ideal for concealed carry with .080 thick Kydex to ensure durability. Most competitors' material use .060. Configure yours today at hdfirearms.com. And my favorite, single-stage trigger, a home run upgrade for your AR-15 and AR-10 platforms. Find out more at hdfirearms.com today or call 770-485-7015. That's hdfirearms.com or call 770-485-7015.